Hey everyone, welcome to this week's lesson. I'm so excited to have you here as we work together to improve your English skills. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. Now, let's jump right in. Hey, in this week's English lesson, I want to help you. Yes, you finally start thinking in English. You heard me right? You're gonna stop translating in your mind. Instead, you'll start thinking in English and speaking English with confidence. Are you ready? Let's get started. The first tip is to surround yourself with English. In other words, you need to immerse yourself in English-speaking environments as much as possible. This includes watching movies, listening to music, and reading books in English. The more you expose yourself, the easier it will be to start thinking in English. Let me share something that will encourage you. When I was teaching English in South Korea, I had thousands of students, but there was one student I will never forget. When he spoke, I wondered why he was in my class. His English was that good. His pronunciation was great, his thought process was amazing, and the way he articulated his ideas was incredible. I asked if he had ever lived or studied abroad. He said no, so how did he become so fluent? He immersed himself in English. He watched English movies, YouTube videos, and listened to English podcasts. His English became amazing because he surrounded himself with it. No matter where you live, even if there are no English speakers around, remember this tip. Immerse yourself in English, and your ability to think in English will improve. The second tip is to speak out loud. Yes, you heard me, speak out loud. It's important to practice speaking English out loud whenever you can. Describe your environment, think of English words to describe various situations, or simply talk to yourself in English. This forces you to organize your thoughts in English before speaking. Even if you're alone, talk about your daily activities. Maybe if you're at work, you can do this privately so others don't find it strange, but make sure you speak with confidence. Believe in yourself, and your English will improve. The third tip is to use images. Instead of relying on translation, connect English words to their meanings by using images. Flashcards with pictures are a great way to make connections between words and concepts. I used this method when teaching soldiers on a military base in Korea, and they loved it. When you see an image, it triggers thoughts and words naturally, helping you think in English more easily. The fourth tip is to think in English during everyday activities. Whether you're cooking, driving, or shopping, describe your actions in English. For example, if you're pouring water, say, I am pouring water into my glass. If you're making a call, say, I am calling my friend. I did this when learning Korean, and it helped me think in the language naturally. The fifth tip is to use quiet moments to think in English. During calm moments, practice thinking in English so it becomes a habit. Many learners get nervous when speaking English, but if you train your brain to think in English during peaceful moments, it will become easier to stay calm when speaking. The sixth tip is to avoid overusing translation apps. While translation apps can be helpful, relying on them too much can slow down your ability to think in English. Challenge yourself to express ideas in English without translating. When my student struggled to find the right word, I waited instead of giving it to her. She eventually found another way to say it, and that's what you should practice too. The seventh tip is to use context clues. When you encounter unfamiliar words, try to guess their meanings based on the surrounding words and the situation. This will train your brain to think in English instead of translating everything. The eighth tip is to keep a journal. Writing in English daily will help you think in English more often. It doesn't have to be long, Just write about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This practice improves both your writing and your ability to think in English. The ninth tip is to engage in conversations with native English speakers. If you don't have English-speaking friends, join online forums or language exchange groups. Engaging in real conversations will help you think and respond faster in English. The 10th and final tip is to be patient and persistent. Thinking in English is a skill that takes time to develop. Don't get discouraged. Keep practicing, and over time, you'll see improvement. Remember, practice makes progress. I hope you found these tips helpful. Keep practicing, believe in yourself, and continue your journey to thinking in English. See you next time.